Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to do a quick video. I just want to talk a little bit about working on extroverted horses. I talk a lot about working on stoic or internal horses because they're more difficult to read. Extroverted horses are pretty vocal. They'll tell you what they like, tell you what they don't like. They're just a little bit easier to decipher their language because they talk a lot. So I do compare them to people who talk a lot. And one of the things I say in regards to extroverted horses is you have to kind of, sift through all the talking to find out the important material that they're giving you and the just, fidgetiness or interest or, kind of the extra that they're giving. They give a lot of extra. So what I think is interesting with really extroverted horses, and this just means, they naturally chew on lead ropes, okay? Because if you have a stoic horse that all of a sudden starts chewing on a lead rope, that means something's going on in their body. Like that's a fidget before a release. But a lot of extroverted horses chew on lead ropes because they're bored, or they move their feet because they're bored, or they play with things on the wall because they're bored. They constantly interact with you because they're just active horses, okay? So a lot of that is what I mean by extra talk. That doesn't mean anything in regards to body work. So you have to be able to sift through the information that they're giving you and pull out information that's important, okay? So one thing that's really interesting with extroverted horses is that when you find a spot where they have tension, they get really quiet. They get real quiet. Okay, they kind of like almost hold their breath and then they don't move. So that's one dead giveaway that you're on a spot. So I always pay a lot of attention to that. If you have a horse that's kind of, dinking around, playing with the walls, if you took their blanket off and put it up on the stall, they're going to mess with it. You can't have your drink put anywhere because they're going to knock it over. They got to investigate everything. And so they kind of do that during the massage also. And so what I'll do is if they all of a sudden get really quiet, then I know that I'm on a spot that either has tension or they really like it or something like that. Okay, so anytime an extroverted horse gets quiet, you got to pay attention to that. And then also they do the same releases, okay? And so what I like to do with them especially, you can't really depend on the fidget before a release, although a fidget before a release looks different than a normal fidget. It's almost like a buildup of energy. So it has kind of a nervous fidget to it, where when they're fidgeting, they're normally just, messing around with stuff. Okay, so they still do a fidget before release. It just looks different. So if you're able to tell the difference between that, that's fantastic. But they'll still do their normal releases. As far as when they talk really loud, so with extroverted horses, everything's just a little bit more dramatic. Okay, so an introverted horse, when they don't like something, they'll shoot an eyeball back at you or slightly flick an ear at you. Extroverted horses, oh my gosh, please, what? That spot, don't touch me there, don't touch me there. Okay, no, that feels good. Okay, they go in between their emotions pretty quickly. So you just have to do the same thing. You're going to acknowledge, okay, I see that, I got it, you're fine. Back off a little bit with whatever you're doing if you found a spot that they are, sometimes they just act like that. Don't touch me there, I can't stand it. Okay, I gotcha. I'm still gonna work it out because obviously that's tension. But you're gonna back off your stroke or slow down or change your stroke, and they will very quickly enjoy it. Okay, so they move in between their emotions a lot faster, it seems like, and they can just be a little bit more dramatic. So there's a little bit on extroverted horses. I really focus again more on the stoic because they're a bit harder to understand, but I don't want to neglect talking about extroverted horses just because, I mean, extroverted horses are also the ones that are in all the videos where they're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Okay, you know, extroverted horses, they make massage look like it is the best thing on the planet. Okay, where with your stoic horses, it might just be like a slight change in their head position or something like that. So extroverted horses are fun. I hope that helps. I told you it was going to be a short one today. So you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.